Good evening. The date is July 14, 1945. Germany has surrendered and war in Europe has come to an end. Hitler's Nazis have been vanquished and American soldiers are returning home. Families and friends everywhere from California, Iowa to New York are welcoming back their men and women after 3 long years of furious war. In a cottage on the quiet shores of Wallon Lake, Michigan, await Mariam, the young wife of First Lieutenant Mariam Jablondki, who was listed missing in action after the invasion of Normandy on June 6, 1944. This is her story and revelation that soon comes to her door.
Mariam's Pardon by Wayne Erreca. It's July 14, 1945, and the war with Germany is over. Japan continues fighting in the South Pacific. The beginning of summer hangs warm and heavy over Horton Bay, a small, pleasant township in northern Michigan, nestled between Charlevoix and Boyne City. Among the pine trees along the waterfront of Wallon Lake rests the small cottage of Harriet Jabonski. Its quaint wooden structure has been in the family for 2 generations, dating back to 1883 when her father, William McKinley, arrived from Ireland. The cottage interior has a small kitchen, a quaint dining room with table and chairs. The lights slowly rise as Mariam Jablondki sits at the dining room table stitching a dress. She is slim, conservatively attired in a flower print dress, and is far more attractive than first impressions allow. She is Harriet's 29-year-old daughter-in-law, married to her only son. First Lieutenant Mariam Jablondki serving in Europe and listed as missing in action. Harriet pours flour in a bowl in the kitchen, wearing a long white apron over a modest dark-colored dress. She is vibrant for her 63 years and moves with a limp in her right leg. Morgan followed him everywhere. If Father was building a shed, he'd have a little Morgan handing him nails, and if he was fishing, he'd have him baiting the hook. The stories he told at breakfast had Morgan's eyes as big as hen eggs. Father regretted not having a son, but made up for it with my Morgan. Taught him all he needed to know. You should have seen my father when he was a young man. It's a shame what old age does. Oh, do you remember what he said when Morgan first brought you home? Now there's a dandy. Just like that, he says. Now there's a dandy. He clearly liked you. Do you remember that day? Mariam, have you heard a word I've said?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
You really should see Dr. Mueller to see if you're going deaf.
I wasn't ignoring you, I was just drifting in my thoughts.
It's happening more often, and I'm concerned about it. I really am.
I like to talk, I really do.
Well, I'm not going to argue about it. When you be a dear and grab me a tray. Did you hear the news?
What news?
Oh, the war, Mariam. Our boys are bombing the Japanese homeland, islands, and we're one step closer to ending this horrible war. We should be getting news from Morgan, don't you think?
I'm not sure, but I hope so.
Where's your positive thinking, girl? Happy thoughts are good thoughts and always come up roses. Here, steer this for me. Harriet exits. She returns, unfolding a letter. This arrived a few days ago. We are hopefully optimistic in informing you that our efforts in locating your husband, Mr. Lieutenant Morgan P. Jablondki, will be vigorously carried out in the coming months due to Germany's surrender, allowing us greater movement to investigate his whereabouts. We will keep you posted on all information we acquire leading to his recovery. Thank you for your patience. From a grateful nation, sincerely, Captain Stuart Johnston. Isn't this terrific news, Mariam?
Was it addressed to me?
Yes. Is there a problem?
Why didn't you give it to me?
When I saw who it was from, I couldn't wait to open it. After all, it was addressed to Mrs. Jablondki. An innocent mistake, don't you think?
Yes, but I would have liked reading it firsthand.
I thought you'd be grateful, but all you can think about is being first.
I'm grateful, Harriet, but it was my letter.
What difference does it make? He belongs to both of us, doesn't he?
Yes, but he's my husband.
And my son. Don't forget I had him first. There's hot water on the stove. Would you mind pouring us a cup of tea? My damn leg is acting up again. It always puts me in a bad mood in the morning. I've seen Dr. Mueller about it, and all he can say is, "It's yours, Harriet." That's a rotten thing to say, don't you think? It's not very optimistic, if I say so. What's next? Will my ears drop off on my next birthday? Oh, you should be grateful you're young and fit. Whatever trouble you think you have, it really only begins when you turn 50. You're 25 now, aren't you?
No, I'm 29.
Really? Where does the time go? You still have a lot of spring and summer in you before the fall sets in. There are days I feel like I'm the dead of winter. My legs started acting after my 53rd birthday, and if I didn't need it, I'd saw it off. You just can't imagine the pain. It's unbearable at times. There we are. We'll just let it sit for a while. It's unusually hot this morning, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
What are you working on?
I'm adding trim to the necklace of Rosemary Benning's wedding dress. Mabel said it's too revealing.
Oh, Rosemary's much too young to have a budding problem. Last I saw her, she was flat as a washboard.
Apparently, she's sprouted over the past year or so.
Oh, after I turned 16, I was cousin to the dairy cow. There was more to cover and plenty of gawkers. I think I'll have a little sugar to brighten my day. How about you?
No, thank you.
I can just see Morgan walking into the kitchen, wearing his old red robe my father gave him, with the morning paper tucked under his arm, asking, "Is the coffee ready, Mother?"
It seems like 1,000 years ago.
What a teary-eyed thing to say.
I just have trouble visualizing it, that's all.
Fiddlesticks! That's your biggest problem. You don't think enough happy thoughts. In case you haven't noticed, over the past several months you've become more withdrawn.
What do you mean? I don't feel any different.
Everyone's noticed.
Who?
I'm not naming any names, but everyone's seen a change.
Mabel's not said anything.
Of course she hasn't. She's your friend and doesn't want to hurt you.
How have I changed?
I'm not a psychiatrist, but honestly, when Morgan first brought you home, I took him aside and said, quiet ones will turn on you. Pick a girl who clearly speaks and does what's on her mind, and you'll know for certain where she's coming from.
That's a horrible thing to say. Why are you attacking me?
Oh, attacking you? There you go again, jumping to conclusions. I'm just sharing good sense. Why are you always on the defensive?
I may be quiet, but I do speak my mind.
Yes, and usually for all the wrong reasons.
I don't have to listen to this.
Come on, sit down. Don't let me ruffle your feathers. You know how I am. My husband said I should have been born wearing a bridle. Don't let your tea go cold on account of me. I don't know what gets into me. I really don't. It must be the weather. Ever since I was a girl, I hated summers. They're always wet and sticky, making it difficult to breathe. My only fond memories of them were when my father told us stories of Ireland. We'd sit on the porch, late into the hot summer evenings, hoping for a cool breeze. Did you know he built the cottage the year I was born?
Yes, Morgan told me.
What a storyteller he was. He'd talk about the rolling green hills of Ireland, and how the cool mist wet your face while walking the countryside.
If he loved it so much, why did he leave?
Morgan never shared that with you? Well, in 1880, when he was a soldier, my father fought in the Zulu War in Africa. Once he returned to Ireland, he learned his wife had died of pneumonia, and a month before his arrival, he cut his ties right then and there and boarded the first ship to America. He said it was too painful to stay, and only a stiff wind against his face would bring a cure.
How sad. Had they been married long?
Just short of a year. Father hardly mentioned her. Kept her tucked away somewhere in his heart. Did Morgan ever tell you how my father and mother met?
No.
Well, he stopped at the Horton Bay store, where my mother worked behind the counter, and it was love at first sight. Father meant to travel further north that day, but as fate had it, Mother grabbed a piece of his heart. And that's how I eventually sprung into the world. Since we're talking about the cottage, our roof needs a good fixing, and I don't want us going through another winter like last. Pots and pans are for cooking, not for catching water drops. I want it looking nice when Morgan returns. He deserves that much after what he's going through, don't you think?
Yes.
There's a knock, heard, and a voice ringing out. Hello? Anyone home? Harriet exits upstage. Sebastian! How nice to see you. We're having tea. Come inside and share some with us. Love some, if it won't be too much trouble. Harriet enters the kitchen with Pastor Sebastian Dupree following closely behind. He is tallish, mid-50s, thin in stature, with a jovial air about him, and neatly attired in a light-colored suit and tie. Marian, look who's here.
Good morning, Pastor Dupree.
Good morning, Marian. You're looking fit. Please sit down. Care for cream and sugar? Yes, please. What brings you here this fine morning? I was checking in on Mrs. Valmont across the street. As you know, she recently lost Alfred a couple of weeks back and is still adjusting to the change. Thought it best to sit and talk with her a while. He was such a sweet man, big as a horse he was. I remember the day they first moved in. My God, that was 30 years ago. Where does the time go, Sebastian? It goes by in a blink, all right. We missed Marian and you at his funeral. I'm sorry to say we weren't able to make it, but we've paid our respects. We brought over a couple of loaves of fresh bread and spent half a day with Ruth. I must be honest with you. Ruth and I aren't the best of neighbors, but we're polite. Now Alfred, with his infectious laughter, he'll be greatly missed. He once sang in the church choir, but not for long. A deep, lovely voice, but had a little trouble keeping harmony. Choir practice was always a challenge when Alfred was there. I believe he laughed more than we sang from all the jokes he shared. Oh, we just received good news about Morgan. Wonderful. He's alive then. We can only hope. It's a letter from the Pentagon saying they're stepping up their search now that Germany surrendered. Isn't that grand news? Splendid news. I feel it in my bones he'll show up soon enough. I was praying last evening, and honestly, I believe he's alive and well. He's probably sheltered by a family in a French farmhouse somewhere. Lord willing, we can only hope for the best. Yes, that's what I keep telling myself. Don't I, Mariam?
Yes, she's never given up hope.
How about you? How are your spirits faring?
I'm all right, I guess.
It's going on 1 year, isn't it? Yes. He's been missing since August 3rd of '44. I'm sure plenty of boys were scattered in the confusion of battle. He could be a prisoner or with the French resistance. If anything were wrong, I would know, wouldn't I? A mother's premonition knows these things, don't you think? Rest assured. I trust we haven't seen the last of your son. You really think so? You received a vision in prayer, didn't you? Yes, just as I told you. Well then, whatever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. See there? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Happy thoughts, Marian. Happy thoughts will always bring up roses. We've missed you the last several Sundays. Is everything all right?
I believe so.
It's not entirely true.
Mabel's given me a few alterations lately. I've been more tired than usual.
There's more to it than that.
What are you trying to say?
Go on. Tell Sebastian what you shared with me the other morning.
There's nothing to say. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you do. You just don't want to admit it.
Really, there's no problem at all.
You mustn't hide it, Marian. Please tell Sebastian what you told me, or I will.
I'm not feeling well. I apologize, but I'm too upset to sit any longer. I'm sorry. Please excuse me.
Marian exits through the dining room. There's a moment of silence. Thank you for coming, Sebastian. I wanted you to see for yourself how she's doing. She won't talk about anything. She just closes up like a clam, and it's impossible to get through to her. Aren't you being a little hard on her? Truth is, not hard enough. She's fragile. Perhaps a lighter touch. Oh no, underneath she's hard as a rock. Don't let her gentle looks fool you. A seasoned coal miner couldn't break through her heart. That's a little harsh, don't you think? Living with her these years hasn't been easy. When the kitchen floor needs a good scrubbing, my eyes don't lie. I know what I see. More tea? No, thank you. She wanders around with her mind, God knows where. I tried to reach out to her, but she's not here most of the time. The poor girl looks as if she needs a good, strong shoulder to lean on. With her husband missing, it's weighing heavily on her. She's not feeling anything I'm not. He's my flesh and blood, isn't he? Yes. And her husband. Morgan wanted us to live together. He thought it'd bring us comfort, but it's only being a burden. I'm worried. I'll say or do something I'll regret. God knows I never want to disappoint my boy. Why he ever chose her for his wife is beyond me. There are times we must walk the extra mile, and this happens to be one of those moments. Seek God's strength, and he'll bless you with the power to carry on. Carry on. I'm carrying the whole damn lock, stock, and barrel. Yes, I know. But she's your son's wife, and she's committed to your care. What frightens me most is Morgan seeing her this way. I understand. I don't think you do. I don't want him blaming me for her troubles. Why do you say that? I want everything perfect when he returns. God knows he's endured enough. Oh, my God, there's so much to be done. The garden's overrun with weeds, the cottage needs a decent coat of paint, and last winter nearly stripped all our roof shingles off. It was a fierce winter, all right. I'd say you need a little help around here. Well, I can't look to her, can I? Do you remember how my father was? I certainly do. He'd have none of it. Until his last breath, he had a shovel, hammer, or saw in hand, and the finished product to prove his worth before the sun set. He was a worker, all right. A good man, your father was. They don't come any better. He was the best, and Morgan follows his footsteps. He's a good boy. I only wish he hadn't married. That's enough now. It does you no good burdening yourself with what's already done. We must look to our possibilities. Maybe, but it doesn't change how I feel. Come on now. This sort of talk isn't good for your heart, and you know it. Let it go. What do you say? We take a look at that tattered roof and see what can be done. I suppose we could. I hate this weather. It makes me sluggish. And I'm not climbing any ladder, because heights make me ill. Sebastian stands. Don't worry, I'll do the climbing, for it brings me closer to God. I'll visit him with my feet on the ground, if you don't mind. Before we go, what's this troubled secret of Marian's all about? Let's take it outside first. She doesn't talk much, but she's all ears. Harriet and Sebastian exit. The lights slowly fade to black. Act 1, Scene 2. The lights rise on Harriet standing at Marian's bedroom doorway. A woman standing in the kitchen. It's Mabel Stromberg, who is nicely attired and holding a dress in her arm. She's in her early 40s, rather plain and well-groomed. Are you going to sleep all day? I'm going into town, and you have a visitor.
Who is it?
Mabel Stromberg, and she brought you something.
Have I been sleeping long?
Long enough. We're having Sebastian over for dinner, and I'm picking a few things up at the store. Make yourself useful and tidy things up a bit. I won't be long. Harriet crosses to the kitchen. Is she not feeling well? With her, you never know. Have you been gaining weight, Mabel? No. Oh, no, I don't believe so. Well, it must be the dress then. I've got to run. Good seeing you. Yes, nice seeing you too, Mrs. Jablondki. Mariam enters unnoticed.
Hello, Mabel. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you.
Oh dear. Let me catch my breath. I'm afraid my own... Oh dear, let me catch my breath. I'm afraid of my own shadow.
Sit down and let me bring you a glass of water.
That was close. I nearly wet myself.
Oh dear. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, I think so. I hope I haven't caught you at a bad time. Mrs. Pennington brought this by, and she's complaining the hem's too long. Do you suppose you can fit it in?
I don't see any problem. No, it shouldn't take any time at all to fix it.
That's good to hear. Others can sew, but few match your promptness.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. And I'm always grateful for the work.
Yes, I know. How's Rosemary's dress coming?
I'm nearly finished with the bodice.
Oh, her mother's threatening to postpone the wedding if her breasts aren't sufficiently covered.
Oh, that's the silliest thing I've heard. Can I get you a cup of tea?
I'm in a slight rush, but I'd love some. A little cream, a little sugar.
I know how you like it.
I really shouldn't, because I'm trying to watch my weight, but old habits are hard to break.
You have nothing to worry about. You're as thin as a sapling.
But I worry about everything. My shop's having its best year. I have more clients than I ever imagined, and yet I'm constantly uneasy. That was my problem with poor William. I drove him crazy with my insistent nitpicking. Nothing seemed perfect enough, and it maddened him beyond relief. You want to hear something funny? I'm one of the most successful women in Charlevoix, but sadly, the lowliest.
I don't like hearing you reprimanding yourself this way.
Oh, but it's true. It's all true. Pastor Dupree once told me it was because of my pride.
No, I can't imagine him saying that.
He did, and I believe he's right. Somehow I think it's a curse that runs in my family. My mother nearly drove my father insane. There's no doubt it's what you drove. He did, and I believe he's right. Somehow I think it's a curse that runs in my family. My mother nearly drove my father insane. There's no doubt it's what drove him to drink. And my Auntie Susie terrorized everyone, including our family dog. He eventually ran off, never to be seen again. It's difficult, but I'm forced to accept my fate. I'm a teller the Hun in sequin pumps. Now what man wants to put his arms around that?
Mabel, you're a fine, intelligent woman. Once the war's over and the men return, you'll see I'm right. You haven't found the right one yet, that's all.
I'm not confident. You're the lucky one. You've got your Morgan.
We received a letter the other day.
Good news?
Not really. He's missing.
He'll show up. You'll see. What did they say?
It's what they didn't say. He's not coming home, Mabel.
Come on now. What kind of talk is this?
I don't want to be like her anymore.
Like who?
Harriet.
What are you talking about?
One thing this war has taught us is that people do die. Have you noticed how Mrs. Browning doesn't come outside since she lost her son? She was so proud the day he enlisted, bragged how he'd come home a hero. Then, one drizzly day, they came to her doorstep. It was as if someone drained the life from her. Overnight, she became an empty shell. And I don't want to become like her.
You won't be.
How do you know?
I just do.
I knew it would be like this the day before he left. We sat on the porch, talking about our future once the war was over. We tried convincing ourselves our separation would be a brief one. His words said one thing, while his eyes said another. At the train station, I gave him a picture of me, and I couldn't tell him what I really wanted to say.
Which was?
That I was going to miss him. Just the other morning, I finally told Harriet what I thought. I couldn't hold it back any longer. I said I believed Morgan was dead, and we'd seen the last of him. She covered her ears chanting, "Happy thoughts bring up roses! Happy thoughts bring up roses!" We didn't talk or look at one another for the rest of the day. I can't share her trumped up optimism anymore.
You always have a place in my home. You know that.
Yes. But until I know for certain, I can't go. I promised Morgan I'd stay with her. What troubles me the most is how she never really knew him. She goes on and on about Morgan this and Morgan that, painting pictures that never existed. I remember after we'd been married a couple of years, times were hard in the Depression and everyone was struggling to make a living. I was pregnant with our first child. I can see it clearly as yesterday.
Mariam crosses to the kitchen.
It was a beautiful morning when the sun was shining through our window.
Lights slowly dim to black on the dining room, with Mabel quietly exiting in the black.
I was standing in this very spot. I can't remember what I was thinking, but I remember being so happy that day.
As Mariam stands at the kitchen sink, handsome 28-year-old Mariam Jablondki enters, wearing a long red robe over pajamas and sleepers, with a newspaper tucked tightly under his arm. He quietly approaches her from behind and delicately wraps his arms around her. This scene is a flashback to their past during 1936. Guess who?
I have so many suitors, it's difficult to say.
He lightly kisses her neck. How about now?
Your voice is strangely familiar, but it's still hard to tell.
He turns her around with her eyes still closed, gently kissing her lips. Surely now you must know.
Again, please, so I'll be certain.
He dances her around the floor in a rotating motion as they giggle together.
Morgan, please, I'm feeling dizzy.
Morgan walks her to the dining room, pulling out a chair. Here, sit down.
Oh, my head's swarming.
Take a sip.
Thank you.
Since we learned about our baby, it's happening more often.
Well, there's nothing to worry about. The doctor said it's normal in the early stages.
Well, I think you'd better go in for another checkup.
I don't think it's necessary.
Not another word, I insist.
But I'm feeling better now.
I'll make an appointment.
No, Morgan, I really don't want to.
It's your health we're talking about, and I'm not listening to any excuses, all right?
Okay.
Good. I'm glad you see it my way. What would you ever do without me?
I don't ever want to think about that.
Morgan pours coffee into 2 cups. Here, drink this down. It'll warm you up. He sits next to her, reading the newspaper.
Have you talked to her?
I haven't a chance yet, but I will.
You said that last week.
Did I? So, I'll talk to her this week then.
You haven't changed your mind, have you?
Nope.
I really think it would be best if we got our own start, don't you?
Listen, we've been over this before, and nothing's changed. You needn't worry, okay?
I just wonder about it, that's all. Whether she'll let you.
He sets the newspaper down. Oh, God. What are you talking about? Of course she'll let us. We're not prisoners here. We're in my mother's home.
That's what worries me the most.
Oh, you say the strangest things. Please don't upset yourself. Everything will be all right. You'll see.
You promise?
Yes, I promise. Now drink your coffee and leave this matter to me. Harriet enters the kitchen carrying a woven basket full of freshly picked wild flowers. I thought I heard voices. You're finally up, I see. Yes, Mother. We couldn't sleep another second. It's a beautiful morning, isn't it? She crosses to the dining room doorway. That it is. I've been up since sunrise. It must be a luxury sitting around drinking coffee all morning. Take a break, Mother. There's plenty left. I've got my chores first. Harriet crosses to kitchen, placing the flowers in a vase. Listen, Mother, it says right here, by appointing Hitler Chancellor of the Reich, you have handed over our sacred German fatherland to one of the greatest demagogues of all time. I prophesy to you this evil man will plunge our Reich into the abyss and will inflict immeasurable woe on our nation. Future generations will curse you in your grave for this action. It's a telegram sent to Hindenburg from Lendendorf. If you ask me, I say there's a big storm brewing in Europe. Why do you bother reading that stuff? It's none of our business what they do. I like being informed. The world's growing smaller by the year, and everyone's infected by what goes on nowadays. What good is it? It's only talk about somewhere else. But that somewhere may be a problem we'll have to face someday. I've been following what's happening in Germany for some time, and this Hitler fellow means business. Did you hear they'll be holding the Olympics in Berlin this year? No, and my only concern is what goes on in our neck of the woods. Father only tended to what faced him and would never get caught up in a bunch of words from across the Atlantic. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a war one day. Oh, fiddlesticks! Are you trying to scare us, Morgan? Heavens no, Mother. But it's a reality we shouldn't shy away from. Then change the subject. Life's hard enough without stirring the bottom of the pot. You have your father's imagination, all right. By the way, did you get the job you were looking for? I have an interview tomorrow. What are your plans today? I thought Mariam and I would take a trip to Mackinac Island. I mean, it's been a while since we just went off.
Really?
Yes, I thought I'd surprise you.
It sounds wonderful.
When will you be back? I thought we'd spend the night and return in the morning. Aren't you cutting it a little short? I've traveled it many times and there shouldn't be a problem. But what if there is? What could happen? You could have a flat tire. Then where will your interview be? Oh, Mother, stop worrying. Nothing like that will happen. But what if it does? Then I change the tire. Simple as that. I've told you I need help around here. Extra income would come in handy. Look, we've been over this. I'll carry our load. You'll see. When? Tomorrow? Next week? Never? Why are you doing this? It's frustrating seeing you sitting around, reading newspapers and drinking coffee. My father would have something to say about it. Please don't bring him into this. He won't, and you know it. You invited us here. Don't forget that. Don't raise your voice at me. Stop digging at me then. If you haven't noticed, times are hard. A third of the men are jobless. I do what I can. What? I can't talk to my boy now that he's a married man? Don't be ridiculous. Ridiculous, am I? No. But when you go on and on like this, it's clear you haven't learned there's more to being a man than zipping up your pants. Mariam, go to your room and wait for me. No! She'll sit right there and listen. Do not listen to her. Do as I say. Mariam rises. Sit down, Mariam. I want you to see the boy you married. How dare you, Mother? You're upsetting her. If you were half the man my father was, we wouldn't be arguing. What about my father? This has nothing to do with him. My God, Mother. It has everything to do with him. You shut your mouth. Do you hear me? Don't ever mention him in my house. I'll leave then. You're the problem. Only you can't see it. Don't you dare disrespect me. Not in my house. You don't. Come back here. We're not finished yet. Harriet screamed to Mariam. See what you've married? Harriet exits and is heard off the stage. Morgan, don't run off. Let me talk with you, son. The lights go abruptly to black. In the dark, we hear Mariam's voice as the lights slowly rise.
We never left after that. Morgan found small jobs here and there, but never enough to win his mother's approval. They had a strange bond, one I never fully understood. It was as if she had a rope tied to his heart, bogging him down. Whenever I brought it up, he'd change the subject. And looking back, the only good thing about the war was that it gave him an excuse to get away from her. As he boarded the train, I saw it in his eyes. At last he'd be free of his mother's hold on him.
I had no idea it was like that between them.
Neither did I before our marriage.
Do you remember how happy you were at your wedding? You have no idea how envious I was of you that day. William and I weren't getting along then, and when I saw you and Morgan taking your vows, I thought for sure I was looking at the perfect couple.
In a way we were. But I soon learned we don't just marry the one we love, but we inherit their family ghosts as well.
If that's true, then my marrying William inherited me a whole cemetery.
Oh, Mabel, you say the most wicked things. Wait here. I'll be back in a minute.
She exits through her bedroom doorway. I hated myself for wearing that gaudy yellow dress. William talked me into it. It was a gift for my birthday. I never told him, but I cut it up and covered our veranda pillows with it.
You didn't.
I most certainly did. I look like a mustard jar in high heels. Oh, look at those two of you. Wasn't Morgan handsome in his black tuxedo? And you, never was there a more beautiful bride.
Oh, thank you. I was so proud of him that day.
Who fixed your hair?
Stacy Rollins.
Didn't she go away to college?
Yes, she did. I heard once the war broke out, she enlisted in the army. She does clerical work or something. She'll be heading over to England once her leave is up.
Oh my God, look at that. Didn't Harriet know she was wearing the most atrocious dress? Wasn't there a mirror in the house?
She bought the pattern fabric and she begged me to sew it.
There it is. It's worse than I remember. Oh, what was I thinking? Was I colorblind? It's absolutely horrible. Was there ever an uglier yellow in the world? But at least my hair was lovely. And don't my legs look nice? Do you ever get lonely?
What do you mean?
Do you ever look at other men?
No, why should I?
I admit, since William left, it's all I do.
This is making me uncomfortable. Can we change the subject?
I'm sorry.
It's difficult to look past today.
I understand.
If you're asking if I miss what we shared, I do. Nights are the worst. There are times I feel like I could just reach out into the darkness and just wrap my arms around him.
Hello!
Harriet!
What are you girls doing? Having a tea party without me? I asked you to tidy up, but nothing's been touched.
Oh, we've got to talking. I'm sorry.
Sorry never milks the cows or harvests the crops. It's my doing, Harriet. I'm an obsessive talker. Been one all my life. I see you brought her another dress. Yes, Mrs. Pennington's hem needs shortening. Her trouble is she cares too much about what others think. Have you noticed how she flutters around, fidgeting with her dress, pulling and straightening? I swear she does it for attention. It's disgraceful. A married woman behaving the way she does.
I don't think she means anything by it.
Oh, she does. You should have seen her in school. When the boys were around, she would perk up, all bubbly with smiles. Oh, my God, it made my teeth ache how sweet she was. A phony. That's Darlene Pennington. Was then and is now. Some people just don't change. They're like leopards that never change their spots. A married woman needs to know her place.
I believe that people can change.
Do you now?
Yeah, I do.
And how would that be?
I think if a person has the will to see things differently, they'll change somehow.
See what differently?
I'm not sure, but I think they can.
How can you believe something you can't even explain? Are you listening to how silly you sound? Life's about substance, Mariam. Crazy thoughts are only buckets full of holes that hold no water.
Well, that's what I think.
That's enough about Darlene. We have cleaning to do and dinner to prepare. I thought mashed potatoes would go nicely with the chicken. Do you feel up to peeling a few?
I don't mind.
Good. And we have a surprise. Pastor Dupree's bringing a guest.
Who?
And not just any old guest, but a young man who has a strong back and is willing to do chores around the cottage.
Who is he?
Don't know. Sebastian mentioned something about his being a war veteran looking to work, and that's good enough for me. We've got plenty of that for him. Apparently, he knows our Morgan, and I can't wait until we hear what he has to say. Well, we better get started. I'll be off then. Why don't you stay and have supper with us? There's plenty to go around. I'd love to, but I've got pressing business in Petoskey that needs handling. Well, supper is around 6 o'clock if you decide to stop by. We'll set a place at the table for you, just in case. That's sweet of you, Harriet. I just may surprise you. You do just that. Well, Mariam and I have our hands full until then.
Where are the potatoes?
They're in the bag on the counter. I got some nice fresh ones. Make sure you'll get all the skin off. We want them looking pretty.
I'll walk Mabel out first.
That's not necessary. I'll get back to you later about the dress, all right?
It shouldn't take long.
Thanks again, Harriet. Don't forget, 6 o'clock, and drive safe. I will. Goodbye. Mabel exits. Can you remember the last person we had for dinner?
Mr. Schelling, I believe. About a month ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. He thought he had a real catch, all right. Imagine that man thinking I'd be interested. Oh, he offered to check my plumbing, but I swear his eyes were on my land instead. Can you believe he was trying to sweet-talk me? What was he thinking? Besides, he's not my type.
What is your type?
Heavens! I'd have to give that some thought. At my age, you grow accustomed to living a certain way, and those are things you just don't think of anymore.
But if you were, looking, what kind of man would it be?
What kind of foolish question is that?
I'm just curious.
Well, I guess there's no harm in pretending.
No harm.
I don't rightly know. I suppose someone like my father. Yes, one you can trust. A man of his word, he was, and they don't come around very often. Oh, but this is silly. That type of man only comes once in a lifetime.
Oh, what a shame.
What's a shame?
Being alone.
How is that any concern of yours? You've got our Morgan.
That's not it.
What in heavens are you saying? What's not it mean?
I'm sorry, but it's difficult to explain.
See there? How do you expect others to ever understand you? What Morgan saw in you is beyond me.
I wish you wouldn't.
Wouldn't what?
Say those things.
Speak up, girl. Wouldn't what?
I know Morgan loves me.
I never said he didn't.
But you imply things.
Oh, what goes on in that head of yours? I think we'd better discuss this another time, or the chicken will be raw come supper time. Make sure to peel at least 12 potatoes. We don't want anyone going hungry. Do you remember how handsome he was in his pressed uniform as we saw him off at the station?
Yes.
Oh, he made his mother proud that day. Oh, if only father could have lived to see him. What do you suppose he was thinking when his train pulled out?
I don't know.
I bet he thought, what am I going to do now without my mother fussing over me? Oh, he's a good boy, all right. I'm hard on him, but he knows I love him. The lights slowly fade on Harriet. What did he whisper in your ear? I've always been curious. Did he mention me? Did he say he was going to miss us? Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll have him home soon enough. That's all that matters, isn't it? We just need to keep thinking happy thoughts, because that's what brings up the roses. Mariam peeling potatoes, neither listening to Harriet's words nor thinking of Morgan's return, but only of the day she'll be set free as the lights fade to black. Act 1, Scene 3. The lights slowly rise as Harriet calls out off stage after hearing someone knocking. Mariam, I'm getting dressed. Would you be a dear and see who it is? Mariam crosses into kitchen, exiting upstage. Mabel's heard off stage. Well, I made it. Am I first to arrive?
Yes, and I'm happy you came.
Who's in the house, Mariam?
It's Mabel.
Oh, that's good. Hello, Mabel. Hello, Mrs. Jablondki. My, she's in a jolly mood.
She's excited about the young man Pastor Dupree's bringing.
So am I.
Leave yourself, Mabel.
I'm allowed to window shop, aren't I?
Yeah, but don't be so obvious.
Mariam, that must be them. Harriet rushes into the kitchen. We'll serve the sweet soup first.
I'll be watching you.
Please do. Prompt as always, Sebastian. Please come in. Harriet, I'd like to introduce Richard Brittenbach. Welcome, Richard. We're happy to have you in our home. This is my daughter-in-law, Mariam Jablondki. He shakes Mariam's hand.
Please excuse me.
Mariam crosses to kitchen. And her friend, Mabel Stromberg. Mabel approaches him with her hand outstretched. It's my pleasure, Richard. Well, it's no secret where you men will be sitting. Please, gentlemen, take a seat at either end of the table. Mabel, you can sit next to Mariam. Sebastian motions Richard to sit at the stage left end. Sebastian sits at the end next to Mabel. Mariam and Harriet begin ferrying plates and bowls to the table. Sebastian said you're a war veteran. Yes. Aren't you rather young to be a war hero? I'm no hero, Mrs. Stromberg, just a soldier. You received a Purple Heart, didn't you? Yes, like a lot of other guys. If you don't mind my asking, what battle were you in? Normandy. That must have been tough. By all the accounts I read, it was. A place you like to forget. What brings you all the way up here to northern Michigan? After 10 months in the hospital, I was discharged and decided it was time to go home. Have you family here? No, I'm on my way to Minnesota. My father has a farm. How was it growing up there? Decent enough. We moved there from North Dakota when I was 7. I've heard North Dakota has lots of Indians. Do you remember what tribe? I believe it was Blackfoot. Are you sure it was Blackfoot? I once read the Sioux were prominent there. It's what my father told me, but I was young. I could be wrong. I've done a little reading on the subject, and I believe the Blackfoot originated from Alberta, Canada, and with a 4th tribe locating in Montana. That's impressive, Pastor Dupree. Where did you acquire your native history? I'm an avid reader with an interest in almost everything. Do you read much, Richard? Not enough, sir. My parents put a book in front of my face at an early age. I developed chronic asthma when I was a young girl, and I would have gone stark raving mad from boredom without them. Mariam sits next to Mabel. Welcome to the party, Mariam. We're having a scholarly discussion on the importance of books. Do you read often?
I've read a few, but not as many as I should.
You and Richard have something in common then. Harriet enters with a serving bowl. Listen, everyone. My sweet soup is an old family secret recipe, and you have my permission to say how delicious it is. Harriet begins ladling. It's a nice fragrance. What's in it? If I told you, it wouldn't be a secret any longer, now, would it? Well, it's best eaten hot. Will you do us the kind favor in saying grace, Sebastian? If everyone will hold hands, please. Dear Lord, we thank Thee for bringing us together to break bread in remembrance of Thee and of your sacrifice for all mankind. Mariam opens her eyes in Richard's direction and is surprised seeing him doing the same. The lights slowly begin to fade. We ask Thee to bless the hands that prepared this food we're about to eat, and to strengthen our hearts in this turbulent hour of global unrest. In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, we do pray. Amen. The lights fade to black. Intermission.